Good morning, readers, and Merry Christmas. Coming to you this December 25th, since it is my regularly scheduled Friday blog. So I hope that you're having a good day, whether you celebrate Christmas or whether it's a day off for you or not. And hopefully you're not snowed in like we are or locked in, but next year will be different again. So if you head over to my blog today, you'll see that I've got a sack of Christmas books. So if you'd like to pick up some new holiday reads today, then you can pop over there and do that. Um, as well as my own books, I've included a few others. And I was trying to decide today whether to do a reading for you. Looked at both Dog-Free Dinner, which is my short story in the Auntie Clem's Bakery series with a Christmas theme, and Santa Shortbread, which is number 12 in the Auntie Clem's Bakery series and is a full-length novel. And looking over those, then I realized that I have done an excerpt from Santa Shortbread before around release date, but I haven't done one for Dog-Free Dinner. So I'm going to read you a little bit of that one today to give you a taste. Dog-Free Dinner is only available through my website. You can't get it at any of the other stores. And it is just 99 cents, and it's a short, not quite a short story, but a short book anyway. Okay, so I just love Christmas, Vic enthused, a refrain that had been repeated many times in the previous few weeks, as they had baked cookies, Christmas cake, plum pudding, and dozens of other holiday-themed goods. They had decorated the store and the house, both Erin's residence and Vic's. As with Halloween, Vic had warned Erin against including anything in the baking and decorating that might be considered pagan or too commercial. Erin had used a lot of white twinkle lights and snowflakes, with a few Christmas trees and candy canes thrown in. Vic had discovered a box of old Christmas cards that Clementine had carefully preserved, and Vic's deft fingers had, to Erin's wondering awe, formed them into various chains, wreaths, and other charming Christmas crafts that had delighted all the church ladies who came to the bakery. You certainly do love Christmas, Erin agreed. Vic paused, looking up from the turkey she was preparing to slide into the oven. Don't you? Erin licked her lips, her mouth suddenly dry. She had managed to keep Vic focused on Christmas preparations, encouraging her projects and smiling until her cheeks hurt, keeping her own feelings about the season private. Doesn't everybody like Christmas? She asked lightly, turning away from Vic to open the fridge and have a look inside. There was much to be done in getting the big, traditional Christmas dinner on the table by the time their guests arrived. The turkey would take the longest, but she could start prepping the cold salads and scrubbing the potatoes so that she wouldn't have to do everything later in the day, but could spread the work out. Of course, the baking was already ready to go and only needed to be popped into the oven at the appropriate time. Vic closed the oven and watched Erin pull produce out of the fridge. No, not everybody loves Christmas, Vic said. There's always Ebenezer Scrooge. Are you calling me a Scrooge? Even he changed his tune by the end of the story, didn't he? Erin ventured to look at Vic again. Vic folded her arms and raised an eyebrow. I'm not calling you a Scrooge, but I think you're avoiding the question. You don't like Christmas? Well, Erin got a small plate from the cupboard and began making a little pyramid of sweet clementine oranges to set out as an appetizer. Her way of acknowledging her late Aunt Clementine, without whom there would have been no Christmas feast. Erin wouldn't have even come to Bald Eagle Falls. She wouldn't have met Vic, Terry Piper, or any of her other friends. Erin would never have been able to start her own business. Erin sighed. No, I can't really say I do. How could you not like Christmas? Let's put it this way. What does Christmas mean to you? Why do you love it so much? It's a good time to spend with family and friends, good food, peace and goodwill. I just really like the spirit of Christmas, the meaning of God's gift to us. She shook her head. It can't be just because you're an atheist. Lots of people who don't believe in Christianity still celebrate and enjoy Christmas. Didn't you have dinner and open presents? Erin shrugged. Different families had different traditions, she said. Most of them did presents Christmas morning, maybe some kind of nativity or mass. Some of the foster families I had were Christian, even if it was only one day a year. Vic joined Erin to pull a large bag of cranberries out of the fridge, which she poured into a pot and picked over. It's because you were in foster homes then? Because you didn't have your own family and traditions? It was a reminder that I didn't have a real family, that I was just a throwaway. A different home each year, usually. Some foster families didn't want foster kids around for Christmas, just their own blood. Then I'd end up in a respite home or care center for Christmas Day or week. Erin shrugged. She didn't want to bring Vic's mood down. I guess I should be happy that I was able to sample so many different traditions and ways to celebrate Christmas. Vic stirred the cranberries with her fingers, looking for any stems or imperfect berries. Then she added sugar and put them on the stove. It's my first Christmas without my family. Her voice was wistful. She had grown up with strong Christmas traditions. Erin knew that from the many stories she'd heard from Vic in the preceding weeks. Erin knew it had to be hard for Vic to be separated from her family for the holiday. That was one of the reasons Erin had indulged in all of Vic's plans, no matter how elaborate or exacting. She wanted Vic to have a good holiday. But this is my first Christmas as Victoria instead of James, Vic said, giving Erin a bright smile. My first Christmas as me, comfortable in my own skin. Erin's smile was reflexive and natural. Good, she said. I'm glad. That will make it good no matter what else happens. Orange Blossom padded into the room, having pried himself away from the sunny window he'd been sleeping in to investigate what his people were doing. He sniffed at the air and started to meow chattily, rubbing first against Erin's legs, then Vic's. I think someone can smell the turkey, Erin observed. I'd say so. I saved something for you. Vic switched to her kitty talk voice for Orange Blossom. How would you like some nice tender giblets? Orange Blossom meowed excitedly at Vic's tone, knowing he was going to get a treat. He stood up on his hind legs, his front paws on Vic's leg, patting at her elbow with one soft paw. Yes? Would you like that? Would Kitty like some giblets? Orange Blossom made it clear with his increasingly raucous cries that he wanted whatever was on offer. Erin made a quieting motion with her hands. Quit teasing. He's going to disturb the neighbors. It wouldn't be the first time that the feline's cries had reached a loud enough pitch to warrant complaints from the neighbors and a warning from Officer Terry Piper about noise bylaws. Vic laughed and went to the fridge, where she retrieved the bits she'd previously put aside for the animals. You don't get all of them, Vic warned the cat. I have to save some for Canine, too. He needs his Christmas dinner, too. Erin half expected Orange Blossom to put his ears back and hiss at the mention of his enemy's name. Adele said that Orange Blossom was a very intuitive creature, and Erin had to agree. He often sensed what was going on when Erin would have thought it impossible. There is no way to explain things to him, but he seemed to understand anyway, far more than she would have expected him to. Erin hadn't grown up with a pet, so she wasn't sure if this was normal or not. Vic, who was accustomed to animals both wild and tame, didn't seem to think there was anything unusual about it. She talked to him like she expected him to understand, and was not surprised when he did. Vic cut up some of the giblets and put them onto a plate for Orange Blossom. The cat was gobbling them down before the plate was even down on the floor. Vic put the rest back away and washed her hands with soap at the sink before going back to the cranberries and produce. Erin looked at her watch, thinking about what they still had left to do and the timing. If we get the cold salads prepped now, we should have time to put on It's a Wonderful Life like you wanted to this afternoon. Vic gave her a big grin. I know it's cheesy, she admitted, but I love it. Then you shall have it. Is Willie coming over for the movie, or is it just going to be the two of us? He's going to see if he can get over. He still wasn't sure this morning whether he'd be able to. What's he working on that he wasn't sure if he'd be able to leave? If Terry can get a day off, Willie should certainly be able to. Vic shook her head. I'm really not sure. He always has so many things on the go, and he isn't very forthcoming about the details. He's a very private person, but I thought he'd at least tell you. I guess it's a hard habit to break. Vic's eyes glimmered. Have you told Terry all of your secrets? Erin felt her face flush. Secrets? That's what I thought. You play it very close to the vest yourself. Erin cleared her throat and continued to chop vegetables. She should have known better than to say anything that might be taken as implying Willie was doing something wrong. Erin and Vic both liked him despite his reputation among the townspeople. Vic shouldn't have had to defend him against Erin. Okay, so that is the first little bit of Dog-Free Dinner. and you can get that on my website. As you can imagine, things don't go as planned, and things happen. You'll have to get the book and find out what. And again, Santa Shortbread is also available on my website and other retailers. And as a surprise Christmas gift here, I have also released some recipes from Auntie Clem's Bakery. It's just a very small collection right now. I'll add to it in the future, but if you're looking for some last minute gluten-free gingerbread men or sugar cookies, then yeah, you can get recipes in that book. And that is also available on my website and is currently a free download. It's available as Kindle or EPUB file, and also as a PDF file that you can print so that you can keep it in your kitchen. All right, that's it for today. Merry Christmas to all, and I will see you again next week.